Hey guys.
Hi.
Your boy is gassy as always. So great to be with you guys. Great to be with you, Lauren. As I look to my right and I see the long, just a floating longsword, radiating white phosphorus.
And I wish I was that pretty.
If y'all don't, if this is your first time rocking with the best, my name is Shate, and the delightsome, as the Mormons would say, delightsome.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the whitesome.
No, I would never say that. Delightsome young lady to my physically located to my right is
Lauren.
Right. So I said, as the Mormons would say, that's a reference to this my black friend, relevant to the story. And actually, the story is very relevant to the episode today.
Oh, interesting.
But my black friend rather, one of his friends was Mormon, and so he ended up watching this Mormon cartoon about human history as Mormons see it, and Mormon church has got a history of racism. That's obvious. That's obvious. Because when your prophet's crooked, you feel what I'm saying? Who knows what the devil's gonna spoon feed through him? And in the video, the announcer was talking about white people and the blessing of being white, and the announcer goes they were white and delightsome, and the way he said it, it was just hilarious. So me and my friend would just say it all the time. White and delightsome is a reference to.
You have said that.
Yeah,
to me
I've definitely
before,
said that. Yeah.
Or you've even said that about food and stuff.
Exactly.
But usually not about a person.
Yo, if the vanilla ice cream, you go to the one way I know if an ice cream shop is worth my time, worth my money, worth my investment is if I always get the vanilla. And if the vanilla is white and delightsome and there's no specks, vanilla bean specks and no impurities.
Okay, that's actually means they put real vanilla bean in it and it would be more quality, but
so you're saying that the presence of black in it,
yeah,
it represents a higher quality?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a prophetic opening to this episode. This is prophetic. So
okay.
The whole reason we got started on this situation, well, I shouldn't say the whole reason, but a significant reason we got started on the situation is, we just look around in America, at least in America or in the world we inhabit, online and off, and there's a lack of unity among Christians who should be linked up, should have warding bond casts. Warding bond. That's Dungeons and Dragons for you. Cast on one another, so when I take damage, they take damage. But
Can
instead,
you upcast it though?
You upcast it to where we're trying to upcast warding bond to link up with the entire body of Christ. So
whoa,
we just want to see the people who know Jesus to link up a little. Link up, and if you're linked up, just link up a little tighter. And then if you don't know him, I want y'all to know you are welcome. Jesus loves you today, and you don't gotta wait to find out. What's stopping you from the person who literally forged the Andromeda Galaxy before your eyes and could take it or leave it? But you, that's a little different. He wants you. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got a big old question that has been plaguing my psyche and attached to my mind like a mind flayer. I'm just deep on the Dungeons and Dragons references. That was not a Stranger Things reference. That was actually Dungeons and Dragons. I wasn't thinking Stranger Things. There's a guy who given the demographic of our listeners, I doubt most of you know who this person is. But I promise the content is relevant and it's shocking, eye-popping. I do know one person in particular will know who this is. But there's a guy named Dr. Umar. He is a Pan-African. I'll just summarize him as a proponent of black people. That's a charitable way. And I do want to frame him as charitably as possible. But he's a proponent of black people. However, there's something I've noticed in the church, a little bit, definitely outside of the church, and it's a curiosity, and it's not like a curiosity like the wax sculpture of the dude trapped in the birdcage at the Wax Museum in Vancouver, BC. No, Victoria, BC. It's not curious like that. Like, oh, that's interesting. They used to hang people from the rafters. They used to hang people out to dry, and they would just die of exposure to the elements, hunger, pecked later by the crows. Like, not that type of curiosity. Like, what would that have been like? It's more of the curiosity, like, curiosity. How could this stand? In the country where we say "Let freedom ring," how could any red-blooded American let this slide? Because
like
it's been
saying,
sliding.
what this person's saying, you mean?
Yeah, just like the stuff this person's saying. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, well, the behavior and the behavior that I see, and I don't know. I feel like it maybe isn't acknowledged as enough, or by the people. I don't know. Well, I guess it's on us then. It's on us, right? Family of God. That is, there's like a level of racism that has been tolerated. I jokingly say this, some of y'all who know me in real life, I jokingly say that, like, ever since BLM, black people got the yellow star in Mario, and, like, we've just been kind of some of us have been out of pocket with just the way we've been treating our other races, particularly whites. And this is a great example. This is like a great personification of, like, just the level of evil that's just tolerated in the name of, I don't know.
Yeah, in the name of what? That's what I want to ask.
I don't know. Yeah, like
in the name of
it's like when a white person will mention something like reverse racism, and then the black people will come up with all sorts of redefinitions of racism, like privilege plus power equals racism, and like we don't have one of those two things, or whatever. All sorts of like goofy ways of redefining reality in order to excuse genuinely bad behavior. So. I'm going to let you guys hear.
Are you referring to when black people say that they're not even able to be racist?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes.
Racism really has, like, you have to have power and hate.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Yes. You got to be able to do something
that
about the
concept.
Hate. When my man Jesus said,
yeah, that one was an interesting one when someone explained that to me.
If you hate your brother in your heart, you've committed murder. When Jesus took it to another level, you feel what I'm saying.
Wow. I've definitely committed moida multiple times.
Oh my gosh!
I'm a serial moida.
I see you looking at the soundboard. The thing is, you're a student. I
was trying to find one that you named it weird, and it's too late now.
No, I was gonna say you're a student of the board, and I appreciate how there are days where you're kind of a little more. You're just more in your study, and then there's some days where you just go zerk. That lets me know that you really take pride in what you do. It's kind of like painting a house, and you dip your paintbrush in like a can of like white Valspar or Big Ben or Bear, whatever your choice paint is.
And it's white.
Rada.
What the freak am I doing with white paint?
Well,
doesn't sound very exciting.
You dip it in the white paint, and it's got that like you dip it in, and it has that like milk. It's almost like dipping a cookie into milk. And then you feel a rush of hunger. Your tonsils start squirting saliva out. And it's like, man, am I painting a house or am I going to a cookout? You know what I mean? Like your senses are overloaded. Your senses are overloaded. And so
painting.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know.
I completely broke my concentration to continue the Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
References. Actually, I think that's a Baldur's Gate thing. I don't think concentration.
I was like on cloud 9. I've been on cloud 9. I'm still on cloud 9.
Are you on cloud 9?
Yeah, you are out of pocket. So, anyways, okay. Now that who knows what I was talking about? But let me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to get into this and just my central question today: why do any black people listen to this man? Respectfully, because
you're actually asking this.
Yeah, I'm genuinely
asking. You
just
don't understand.
Yes.
I do remember looking over at you this week while you've been consuming a lot of his content, and your facial expressions were hilarious.
Yeah, I just
and you just like kept having mouth agape. It was just like obviously you did not understand.
Dude, my mouth was watering as I was listening to him all week. Just I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. And
his jaw kept falling on his chest.
Bingo. Okay. Maybe I'll share that for the end. Part of me does get it, and it's something that I think the Bible even addresses. There's like an ear tickling element if you know the scripture I'm referencing. But okay, let's get into the first clip.
Yeah, let's just listen.
Let's get into the first clip. So I just want to make sure y'all understand the framework for this guy. So I believe he has a psychology degree. I should have wrote this down, bro. I wrote everything down but his actual credentials. But he is educated in anthropology of some kind. He says his name is Dr. Umar. However, there is big question marks around whether he is actually a doctor. I actually don't think that that's that important because he is intelligent. Like, he's not like unintelligent, but he also does be saying some stuff that's just like not true. But in other words, I don't want to.
I mean, just because someone's formally educated doesn't necessarily mean they have heart knowledge.
Exactly. Right.
Or real world knowledge.
I wouldn't want to say that it's questionable that he's a
not
doctor.
Not like book smarts is fake, but
to discredit his his intelligence. All that to say, I think it more fits in the lore of just kind of this. There's like a sus nature a little bit to some of the things he says and does in his history with like fundraising. And anyways, all that to say, he does seem to be a great listener. Every time I see him on a podcast, he seems to be genuinely, well, he's had times where he's gone off the rails. Definitely.
Who does he have on his podcast?
He talks with like, he's very steeped in black culture. So like y'all probably don't know.
So he never has white people visit his podcast.
I don't know, but he's in like black circles because that's his audience. So like he'll be on like Breakfast Club, Joe Budden, the two off the top of that. Some other what's that? I think he was on Vlad is white, but he's like he interviews a lot of people in the hip hop genre or blackness genre. We'll say that.
Does he do this? Does this guy we're about to listen to, this doctor person, also do hip hop?
No. But like within, I guess, black culture and like black media, you know, since we're talking about like black issues, I guess I just said we. That's crazy. Since since that is a relevant topic in black spaces, someone like him very much fits within, because you know he's in addition to he's talking about a lot of things that concern black people. But his worldview is centered around Pan-Africanism. Can
you explain what that term means?
Basically, Pan-Africanism is like here, let me read the Wikipedia. Pan-Africanism wiki. I'll read the Wikipedia. So from Wikipedia, Pan-Africanism is a worldwide movement that aims to encourage and strengthen the bonds of solidarity between all indigenous peoples and diasporas of African ancestry, based on the common goal dating back to the Atlantic slave trade. The movement extends beyond the continental Africans with a substantial support base among the African diaspora in the Americas and Europe. So that's
actually a movement.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Actually,
to like unite black people, basically.
It's called what?
Yeah. Pan-Africanism.
Oh, Africanism. Okay.
But that's so broad that it doesn't capture the expressions of it as it relates to, say, for instance, you have like, and y'all again aren't gonna know what this is except for the homie who I know knows who this is. But like you'd say you take Pan-Africanism mixed with like 5%ers, which is like or here's more relevant. Pan-Africanism mixed with like black Hebrew Israelites. And then that is like a recipe for just toxic, almost black supremacy.
Okay.
So Pan-Africanism can be a very sterile motivation, free of, I guess, ill intent.
Okay.
However, oftentimes Pan-Africanism can be mingled with other ideologies, and it does
so in
create
its purest. Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I was gonna, and it can create like a valuing of black people above others, whether it is intentional or not. Sometimes that can be the effect in virtue of your principles.
Okay.
So that's
helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. So here, Dr. Umar's main like fixation that is like just sinister, that is entangled within his Pan-Africanism, is he's vehemently against interracial marriage to a highly racist degree, like just straight racist. And I did not plan this. Huh?
So he would be offended by our name, even.
Oh, 100%,
of our
100%.
podcast?
Like he also, another thing, and I hate when black people do this too, because I felt this growing up. Like I very much felt this. Very loves calling black people who don't align with him on certain issues coon. Which is just like, it's just racist, bro. It's just racist.
That is just racist.
Yeah, it's simply racist. It's like N-word adjacent.
I was going to say, a white person is 100% not allowed to
put it like this. If a white
that.
person calls a black person a coon, there will be gunfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some innocent white people might get slain in the process.
They're keeping me in a courtroom. It's freezing, by the way.
So now that you have a general idea for who he is, Let's just listen.
Okay, now I'm trying to try. I have to take a pause and be like, okay, God, open my ears.
Pause.
Because now I'm like, okay, he's saying that.
Yeah, he's
okay.
He's something else. He's very charismatic, though. So I
listen.
So the first clip here. Here's something that's funny to me. I'm going to give you an analogy. He was on, I believe this was him on the Nick Cannon. He was on some like Nick Cannon show, which here's what's funny, y'all. I do need to include this. If you guys didn't know this, our beloved Nick Cannon of Wild 'N Out and whatever dance movies he was in back in the day.
The Drumline movie.
I said here's what's funny and I feel bad, but this is, okay, I don't mean funny like haha, this is just kind of crazy. He has like 12 baby mamas. Hang on a second. Let me look this up. Who
I actually have honestly
Nick Cannon's baby mama's names? So
curious.
Nick Cannon, where are the baby mamas? Where are the baby mamas? Baby mama. So he has he's Mariah Carey has one baby mama. Shout out Mariah Carey. Love Mariah Carey to death. Brittany Bell. I don't know who that is, but that doesn't matter. I'm just saying I just don't know. Abby De La Rosa. I mean, is it relevant to go through the names?
Yeah,
We're
no,
here.
not really.
Alyssa Scott. Yeah, it is. Alyssa Scott, y'all. Look them up. Look them up. Bree Tessie. Bree Tessie. Lanisha Cole.
As you like double check the names.
Brittany Bell. Did I say that one already?
Oh,
I feel like I did.
I don't think so. No, that's new.
Oh, this girl's name is Beautiful Zeppelin Cannon. I love that.
Whoa.
They're recycling names. Okay, so that was like what, 4 baby, almost 5 baby. What did I say? Like
that's
10?
Way more than that. That's like 8.
I thought there was more.
That's like 8 or something.
He has 12 kids. Well, anyways, let's move on. So I won't include this part of the discussion, but
just a weird fun fact.
Dr. Umar very much challenged Nick Cannon on like, hey, why do you have babies with people who aren't black?
Oh.
Which, just like, that's kind of insane.
And he was on Nick Cannon's show asking him that? Like he feels the right to say that on someone else's show?
Nick Cannon was welcoming. Like, they're not beefing. Like, they're.
I know, but that seems very disrespectful.
It
to
is.
Ask
It
that
actually is. It
in
is.
that context.
Because you're coming
like,
from,
if he wants to ask it off camera, maybe, and say,
no,
hey,
that was the
about
forum
it?
because you need to. Because Nick Cannon does not rock with his beliefs, obviously, on interracial marriage, I should say. But here we go.
Do we have that clip? I want to hear
I
that.
don't come from a place of hate. Okay. I have nothing against the Caucasian woman, Asian woman, Latina woman, East Indian, Arab, all the various beautiful women of the world. I have nothing against them. But I'm loyal to the black woman because she suffered the most.
I agree. 1,000%.
At the hands of this society.
So, I don't know why the pronunciation of Arab made me laugh.
And it actually made me pause and go, huh?
Yeah,
What
what
kind
he's
of
talking
women
about.
is that?
So this is interesting. Let me give you a scenario, Lauren, and Chocolate Dip family and friends. And by the way, y'all probably happy that you're soaked in chocolate on this episode. So y'all can just sneak right past the radar, the judgmental eyes of right now. To Dr. Umar, all of y'all look like you're fulfilling his African mandate of keeping it black. Because all of y'all are just slimy. And
unapologetically African Family First Festival.
So let's say I'm struggling financially. Well, that may be true, actually. But let's say I'm struggling even more financially.
Okay.
And you're at an ATM machine. Nobody goes to those anymore. So let me switch it out. You're at a gas pump late at night pumping gas. I roll up on you with the blicky. I pull it out. I'm wearing a puffy jacket.
What's a blicky?
It's just a sidearm.
Oh.
Puffy jacket. It's like December 18th, so it's cold as hell outside. I roll up on you with the blicky, and I flash. And I say, look, it's not personal, man. I just gotta feed my family. Like, I love my kids, I love my wife, and like, we gotta eat, man. So you gotta. We need to go to this ATM machine, and you gotta pull everything you got out, man. But it's all love, man. I love my family.
Every once in a while, I would play the JFK assassination.
That's not what we're doing. So I say that, and you go up to the ATM machine with me. You drain everything you got, because you're just trying to live. I say, thanks, bro. Like, listen, I don't come from a place of hate, man. But like, I just need this money. Does that make what I did to you any more righteous?
Because you're not.
Because it's not from a place of hate. I robbed you at gunpoint
from
a place of love.
It's counter, because if you're saying you're not doing it in hate and you're being respectful and kind the whole time, you're still stealing their hard-earned money.
You're still committing a crime.
And you have no idea what their family is like.
Yeah, right.
What if they have 7 children and
Right.
no other partner to help them, and
Right.
they're like not going to be able to make rent now?
Yes. Now, I think rhetorically saying I don't come from a place of hate and then following up with something extremely racist, especially with, I feel like, black people, it like makes you, it lowers your natural inclination to say, like, bro, that's racist. That you're against interracial marriage, dude. That's just racist. And then now you're like
it hides it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's couched in quote unquote love. But like Satan could say, like, bro, I'm in your dreams. I'm in your dreams, giving you fantasies about women, just because like it's not hate, bro. Like, I just want you to
standing strong in love.
I just want you to think about women, man. Like, I just want you to have a good night's rest and wake up with wet shorts or whatever. Whatever happens when it happens. Okay, Lord, I don't think that's too far.
Let's steamroll over that.
Yo, put on some deodorant after that one. But you understand what I'm saying. So, I'm ashamed of myself. Sorry, Lord.
As you.
I just don't understand how. Like, you're still saying something. Like, I'm just trying to establish, it doesn't matter how much you dress up racism or something that is racist. Like, it's still racist. So,
like, he's saying he doesn't.
Yeah, in that last clip, he said, I don't come from a place of hate. I love all these women.
Beautiful women of the world.
But I'm against interracial marriage. Or he would say, I love black women too much.
Is that what he has said?
He just
trying to be.
So here's another clip for y'all.
But that's because there's only a few of you at that upper echelon.
Right. So he's talking about black men marrying outside of their race, which just, even that sentence just sounds silly.
But for those of you who are at the top 1%, right, income bracket, y'all go out the community to marry more than men similarly placed in their community.
That's such a small percentage, though.
Right, but black men marry outside of their race more than every other group of men per capita.
And I'm not making...
Anytime someone drops the phrase per capita,
I don't trust this like ever. Literally, whenever someone says that, I'm like, whatever exact website, the one place you've checked, I don't trust it.
Because I feel like per
Anytime
capita
it's per
is a very
capita.
specific criteria.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's always like when you look at the research behind those kinds of things that say per capita, it's like, but how did you count that?
Yeah, I don't think you could use per capita. I don't think per capita would be a statistic. For I mean, anyways, but here. So, in line with anyways, so actually, when I heard that the first time, the flags went off. So I decided to check it because I was like, that doesn't seem right. So I did some research on interracial marriage in America. Let me read you a quote.
Please do.
At the same time, so this is in the middle of an article from Pew Research. At the same time, intermarriage has ticked down among recently married Asians and remained more or less stable among Hispanic newlyweds. Even though intermarriage has not been increasing, intermarriage is like a weird term. It feels like we're talking about like gorillas marrying
I know.
different types
like
of gorillas.
tigers and monkeys or something.
Oh my gosh. For the month of May at Point Defiant Zoo, we will be showcasing the intermarriage exhibit featuring gaboon vipers. And would you believe it? Regular old garden snakes. Did you know those could intermarry? Anyways, intermarriage has not been increasing for these two groups. They remain far more likely than black or white newlyweds to marry someone of a different race or ethnicity. So this is saying,
so it's saying
Hispanic newlyweds are the most likely to marry someone
not Hispanic.
Correct. Or outside of their quote own race. About 3 in 10 Asian newlyweds have a spouse of a different race or ethnicity. Same is true of Hispanics. So that's so for
3
one.
3 in 10. That's not like crazy high though, right? I mean, it's not,
sure.
Not like half or anything.
But so he said, he specifically said black men marry most outside of the race than any other group of men per capita. That is not true. The number one spot belongs to Hispanic men. I think it's like 27%. Black men is like 24%, and then Asian. It's pretty close between the three other races polled, which was Asian, Hispanic, and black. It's like a percentage or two separating each.
So it's really not them climbing. They're not only the top, not the top. They're like very aligned.
Yes, it's very aligned with that. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So like again, not that any of this matters, but it's like you're just
but if
kind
you're
of
call
just making stuff up
and be out
just kind of making
someone's
stuff
show.
Up. Right. And if you're wondering, white men, I think it's like 12%. But
wow, seriously?
Yeah,
like
it's
they
like the
almost
lowest.
always.
However, it goes way up for people in metropolitan areas. It's like if you're in a city, the rates of interracial marriage with white people goes way up. So it could be a product of just who you're around.
Right. Is this all based on, and I guess if it's based on, is it all based on a certain sex? Or
it's based on like star charts and stuff. And like, I looked at like birth charts and,
so per capita star chart.
Just like, no. They did break it down by sex. But the bigger numbers are just based on just the ethnicity, male and female. He also said, so when he was getting into it with some other people on another podcast. Oh, here's something funny, y'all. I've been increasingly paranoid of like copyright strikes and all that stuff, like just making content. Because like, bro, I work so hard at this content. I would hate for it to go away from like being careless. So I've been like really trying to make sure I do my due diligence with copyright stuff and like how to use fair use or whatever. I noticed when I was like doing research, a lot of the people who had negative things to say, all of the content was like no longer on the internet.
Oh,
so I feel, I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like whoever is rolling with Umar, they got their finger on the
copyright team.
Mm-hmm. We're well within the bounds here. But anyways, I just want to do my due diligence because the message today is just too live to get taken down by one of my own. You be your own people sometimes. That way you don't see it coming.
Oh my gosh.
So he also said when he was getting into it on the, I think maybe Joe Budden's podcast with some dude who had a Brazilian Portuguese wife. he was like telling it. He was just basically asking him like assailing him as like, hey, why didn't you get yourself an African woman? And you could tell the dude was like he knows Umar is live, but I felt like he was a little irritated. But Umar said there's more black women on the earth than any other population. So immediately I was like, hold on, like that can't be true.
Yeah, that can't be.
But
sure.
Had
You're
to make
trying
sure.
to give him some space.
Just okay.
He's
so
a doctor.
He's wrong on yeah, you're correct. Yes, he's wrong on two levels. Okay. And I'm pointing these things out because I think it points to the mindset of like everything's black. Yes. You know what I mean?
No, it does.
It's like a.
Let me just change all the stats so that we even own stats now too.
Right, exactly.
It's like okay.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like we're the best.
And also that might make him sleep a little better if he actually like checked himself. No, we're not doing that bad. Like, we're actually below Hispanics and Asians.
Correct. Yeah, honestly.
And black women as a whole aren't as, like, hated as he probably thinks.
Actually, black women we're pretty low on marrying outside of their race. I think it's like 12%. So that could point towards the old adage, the loneliest people are Asian men and black women. But he's as they're getting into it,
okay,
and he said that, I looked up like, okay, first of all, just immediately I was like, Chinese women, that's probably if you're talking about single people groups, the most women in the world are probably Chinese women, because China. So that like a decent estimate would be like there's 680 million Chinese women, which is insane. So that's already more than African women. Which I believe is like maybe 540 million in Africa or maybe globally. Second of all, not all, like, you can't just say black women, because I'm taking one Asian country, China. Yeah. Black could be like Ghana, Tanzania, Nigeria, the Congo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're going to take all those and just say black women there's the most black women in the world, then I can take Korea, Japan, Vietnam. I can take every Asian country. Then it's definitely not close.
That will decimate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then it's definitely not close.
Yeah.
Most people in the world are Asian. When God made man, I think they were supposed to look Asian.
We not playing no more. It's time to get the school done.
It is time to get the school done. So let's continue because this is fun. I'm enjoying myself. I mean, I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
This. I think this next statement here, I feel like it is just crystal clear. I just idolatry. This is literally idolatry, and I don't mean to make it like a overly Christian-y, unintelligible, but like in plain English, this is like bending into your chest and staring so deeply with like the biggest smile as different segments of your spine just begin shooting out of your back and you become less and less human. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let me So let me play this next clip.
Hi, we're Visible.
Well, guys, Visible's not paying our bills, so
no, they're not.
Contracts
with every day. But what is the one thing you belong to that you can never change? It's your racial group membership. And who chose your racial group membership? Almighty God. So for us, being African is the most spiritual and it is the most sacred identity you can have because it was fixed by God and you can never change it. So that's number one.
I mean, that's insane.
Can you, what's the phrase he just said?
What for? Oh, no, he just said.
How did he open it up though?
The most.
The number one thing.
The number one. Here, let me go back. Let me go back.
Become citizens of countries they had no affiliation with every day. But what is the one thing you belong to that you can never change?
What is the one thing you belong to that you can never change? He's saying your racial membership, which is, I mean, is that like a Costco card situation? Like, I mean, black card is a thing, so I guess I feel what you're saying, man. I feel what you're saying.
Because you got yours back.
But notice how he's saying the most important thing about you is the race, quote, God gave you.
So.
Therefore, yeah, go ahead.
No,
please. You got it. Yeah, speak up.
It makes me sad when anyone focuses on one specific thing about themselves physically or about their personality. If it's not like I'm a child of Christ, because that's, I'm not trying to make, now I'm sounding super holy.
No.
But I just mean.
I'm saying I'm made in the image of God.
Yes.
But
I'm saying.
Regardless of your membership with your union with Christ or not, that is true. That is universally true.
Yes. Like
more than is true that you are black or white
for sure. But I'm just saying, if it's not that, why would I I'm a blonde person. Like that can't be right. I am part of this special club
of blonde haired, green eyed Aryans. And then that German war machine.
I just find it sad whenever people pigeonhole themselves when they identify as something like only this one thing.
Yeah.
And if something shakes you in that, because all those things are very shakeable if you rely on it for everything.
Actually,
that's
yes.
very sad.
Yes, because how many times, just his own words, just ejecting blacks because they don't align with certain, quote, black values, where now they're coon, which coon is kind of like a you're out. So apparently it's not as important to him as he alleges here.
That's actually
because you can lose your membership based on certain criteria that he puts forward.
So it's not even having to do with your origins.
Exactly.
And
it's
your
cultural,
beautiful, precious,
and ideological
golden card that you have.
It's not really a skin color thing.
It's you better have married a black woman.
Exactly.
Or man, depending on what.
So by his own logic, it isn't that important because it can be taken.
Yeah,
it's
so he
based on
questions his own situation.
Yeah, it's based on your behavior as a black man.
Okay, sorry, you can.
No. I didn't have anything to say. I'm just saying,
I interrupted the clip though. I was
that was actually the end of the clip.
That was it.
Yeah. But I mean, again, so maybe this is more to my Christian inwards, ending with an A. You can see where his foundation is for basically everything.
I won't even use bounty paper towels no more.
And when your foundation is rooted in something that is not from God, the fruit of it, you'll always end up excluding people.
Is lackluster.
Yeah, you'll always end up.
It's plastic fruit.
So okay, y'all, this next clip, this is kind of for funsies, but this is also
funsies.
Yikes. This is a logical jump that I just listen, y'all. Just listen. Please listen. Listen closely. Open your ears. So he's talking about divorce and how whenever interracial couples break up, the white woman always steals from the black man. Basically saying because a lot of
it could be the other way around sometimes, right?
So here's the deal: a big thing that fuels this "don't marry other races" thing is he says he feels like when you marry outside of your race, you're taking money from that's supposed to be used to rebuild the black community, which makes no sense.
Oh,
but it's we're sending our money to other races by marrying outside of our race, so we're not building up black people, I guess. So I guess if you
black
marry
family wealth,
yes, exactly. So I guess if you marry black, it goes to the brick.
I was just
mortar
say,
fund.
Does that imply that every black person is out there donating money to different causes and building up their neighborhoods?
Just there's bricks. We have bricks. We have neighborhoods that are just bricks being exactly foundations
for kids and stuff.
Mortars.
Only black kids though.
Exactly. There's fences, just a lot of architecture when that day comes.
That doesn't make sense unless.
And Jumanji returns with his pack of jaguars.
Oh my gosh.
And super advanced Nigerian technology.
What I haven't had my
and he takes his hands and extends them out towards us, and we get to walk down Black Wall Street, the rebuilt Black Wall Street once again. All that investment that we made, like it'll be really clear how like just that it'll just be like worth it. We'll all look at each other and be like, man, it was worth it. And there won't be any
Black Wall Street will be built up again.
There won't be a single non-black person in sight, and it'll be worth it.
Oh, so where will I go when you're visiting?
I don't know,
place?
and I want you there, but
I mean, I can't visit.
you can't be there.
No. I don't know if you can be there according to these rules.
That's correct.
Pretty sure
That's
you're
correct.
not.
No, I am out. I'm out of the club because I married you. All right, so where'd the club
I'm out
go?
of certain clubs from my German heritage.
Yes, you're right. You
because
are.
I married you.
You're excluded from the Third Reich and the
oh darn
the German war machine. Okay, so here's the next one.
And, excuse me, half of the marriages in America end in divorce. So if half the marriages end in divorce, mixed race marriages as well. So what are you going to do when your black son is being raised by a white mother who just married a Nazi as a husband? So now your black son is living in a house with a Nazi as his stepdad.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Okay, I had no idea our silly joke was like leading up to this, basically.
Oh yeah, we're being led. We're being led, divinely led into each conversation. You know what I would do in this scenario, you guys? You know what I would do?
What?
I would turn off my Xbox because this is not a real scenario. I would say, oh, I don't like this game anymore. And I would take the disc out. Because what he said would only happen in the Nazi expansion for The Sims. This would not happen in real life. So I would just turn off my Xbox and say, wow.
Nah, that ain't it.
I don't like this game or this mod.
Or just like...
And I would use the report function and let EA know, like, you guys shouldn't be promoting this type of stuff.
Get heavy treatment by a psychologist and get drugs because you're going to create paranoia and dissension.
Honestly, actually, Lauren...
Because it's like...
yes.
That's just anxiety inducing. Yes. That's fear casting.
And
so you're literally saying that, okay, so half the marriages end in divorce.
If you marry outside of your race, their family, they
you
definitely hate you.
better make sure that your ex-partner doesn't marry the wrong person. Like, that's your job, or you have any control over that.
Yes.
Because let's say a black man and a black woman were married. Okay, they get divorced. What's going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, because we started with the correct formula, is the percentage lower for one of them to, like, go off to a white person after that?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's the same problem.
I also don't understand, like...
Then you're just talking about divorce and remarriage. You're
Yeah.
not even talking about the first couple being a certain combination.
I
That
don't
makes
get it.
no sense.
I don't get it, man. And why is it... So before this specific clip, because this kind of summarizes what he had been saying for the past 2 minutes.
Okay.
Also, like, it was always, why would you want to have children with someone whose family hates your blackness? Because he was talking about how a lady... And okay, this actually is an interesting. He does a lot of like Q&A and like forums where he can be challenged, and which is admirable and cool. But he was saying like a lady was at a forum and told him like, I don't want my son to identify, my mixed son to identify as black because he's mixed, or whatever. Which, okay, listen, if your son wants to, there are plenty of mixed kids who call themselves whatever the dominant appearance is. I've heard it both ways. I don't think that you should necessarily prohibit. This is just my opinion. I don't think you should prohibit like a child from referring to themselves as black or mixed or whatever. Like whatever, you know. As long as there's no shame in literally what they were born into. Sometimes it just comes out. It's easier to say black sometimes, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know,
that's a very interesting conversation because I used to nanny a family that. The mixed child, he looked way more white.
Right.
And
right.
his sister looked black. And I
yeah,
do
that
wonder,
does, yeah,
like
does
when you
happen
take
a lot,
surveys and stuff, like if you're taking a test at school and they ask you.
Exactly. It's like what do I write out? Yeah.
Are you going to get in trouble
yeah.
if like they're like, oh, you took the wrong one?
But I think the lady that he was in the discussion with, her thing was like, if he's saying I'm black, I would imagine for her, she was thinking like, this is not acknowledging that black isn't the only thing. Like I'm
also like she must have been the white person in the...
right.
Oh, okay.
So I would rather him say mixed because that's like an honoring you know,
Honoring
we're
both.
yeah, which I don't see the problem with that. But Umar was like, no, you don't want him to say he's black because you're racist.
Oh wow.
And I'm thinking like, why is the conclusion always because there's some repressed racism within you? Same with like him saying,
that's very intense.
why would you want to have kids
Clap
with
back.
somebody whose family hates your kid? So like he's talking about like you all the Asians, and of course we've all heard. Well, maybe not all of us. We've all heard stories of like, yeah, maybe you do marry into like an Asian family, and this is not something they've been exposed to. Which, coming from a culture where everyone is this, you know, everyone's Chinese or everybody's Korean or everybody's whatever. Like, yeah, there can be some culture shock, but I know many mixed Asian and black who like have an amazing relationship with their extended family. Like it's not like the norm is we eternally hate your child.
Right.
A lot of times this is just like these people just don't like, we're very privileged in America.
I won't say very. Yeah.
Other cultures just they're unfortunately don't have the exposure, so there can be an adjustment. Now if they persist in the racism, yeah, then that's a problem. But I think there should be grace for like, you know, whatever aspirations you had for the ethnicity of your child, you need to lay those aside and accept your child, because you know
Well, you also obviously have an idea of what your child will be because you know who your partner was that created it.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's going to be
you should
like
have seen this coming.
a random product. But that's actually very interesting because I didn't even think about her being offended because he didn't want to acknowledge that he's mixed instead of just calling himself black. I could maybe see that as like if we had a kid, that may be hurting my feelings.
Yeah, for sure.
Of like not acknowledging you have a white mama.
Yeah.
Like
For sure. And I think his ethnocentric worldview does not allow him to see the love that this parent has for the child. And it isn't that they're racist. It's just that could feel like rejection.
I
don't like the white part of me, and it's like, so I don't. You don't like your mom?
I would also argue too, like for the sexist side, she carried him
100%. No. Yes,
in her body.
Yes.
And had to give up multiple cool things about her body, probably that never went back.
Yes, I sacrificed my body for you, and you don't even want to give me a nod genetically.
Like,
that is out of yes.
But like, honestly, nothing happens to their bodies when their wife is giving birth.
Yeah.
Or carrying, or all those things.
Yes, 100p. Yeah, you're exactly
Women
right.
Literally have
you are exactly
skin
right.
in the game.
I don't know if I like the way you put that. There's just some imagery that I don't.
Okay, yeah, I didn't mean. I don't know. Yeah, let's move
on from that. You're right. No, everything you said, Lord, and you being female, I think it's nice to hear you say that because I just don't think men have that innate sense that women do of like, bro, I gave something up physically for you. Please just tell people that like my mom is white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, like, what's so bad about that? But according to Umar, like, you're racist if you.
Yes.
And that's
if
that's
you want to
just,
acknowledge that you're one of your partners is not. One of your parents is not.
I feel like that points towards like that, whether he intends or not, the hateful elements of some of the ways he thinks that literally blinds him to things that should be very obvious to most people. Before I forget, let me just read you some of the comments on these videos.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see here. So again, this video that I just played you a clip from, he also talked about Michael Jackson and some like discord between his kids and the parents. You know what? There's too much in that, so I won't read that comment. Never mind. Okay, here, this comment is very silly. Of all the people I've seen be angry with this man and drag his name through the dirt. Okay. Because of his disagreement. Because of
name through the dirt, but sure.
Because of his disagreement with interracial marriages. I don't think it's a disagreement. I think it's a
no. It's a hard
prejudice
line.
view. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me why I have not seen one white person chime in with "This is wrong. I love my black person." Bro, I'm sure there are millions of women waiting to tell you I love my black person.
Like, yeah. I love my black person.
There you go. We got one right here.
If I had seen this
We
video
literally have
and you
one.
would need that, I could put that there.
Okay, here's another one, y'all. This is
Also,
insane. Yeah.
what the heck does that imply? That all of us white women are just tragically unhappy because oh no, we picked a black guy and now we're just pissed.
And we
What
just
the
wanna,
freak
we
does
just
that
wanna,
mean?
We just want to have sex with him. Another one.
And make a baby that will call himself black.
Right. Another one says, a lot of people will judge him, but truth be told, he's speaking the truth here. Like, do you guys not...
That's...
It's not like...
This is scary a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and Lauren,
These
you
are
know
real
me on
people?
this podcast, I'm always trying to not overstate.
No, you're much more charitable than
I've seen a lot of comments like this. Like,
Yeah.
like I've searched comment threads and not seen very many comments
of like what in the
calling
heck?
out like, "Hey, y'all, like this is stupid."
Yeah.
I do see,
Or really, hey y'all, this is racist.
I do see a decent refrain of some black people saying like, "Why do you guys give this man any attention?" So that there are black people that
okay.
acknowledge the insanity,
I
but there's a lot
appreciate
that don't. Another person says from Africa, Zimbabwe, this right here is straight talk. Word.
Okay.
Caught darn, I'm breaking up with my white women today. Women plural, so he's
Obviously he's not really that.
got a situation. We must protect Dr. Umar at all costs. Some of that's because he had some conspiracy theories that he let out on Whitney Houston's death being a murder. I totally agree with Dr. Umar. Told the truth and standing on it. Love
Wait.
it. Yep.
Dr. Umar said weird stuff about Whitney Houston's death.
Yeah, he thinks it was like an intentional, which, you know, whatever. At this point, I'm willing to give any conspiracy
drug
theories
induced.
here.
I mean, they say the same thing about Marilyn Monroe.
And Prince, yeah.
You never know.
Agree on all points. Not something you should announce. I'm saying that last part. This is valid, people of America. Anyways, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, ears open, wide open. Okay, y'all, this is hilarious. So there's a persistent, there's an enduring lie that he has said that he's related to Frederick Douglass. But I guess the way he means it is not it's okay. If someone tells you they're a relative of Frederick Douglass, your assumption would be you are blood related. You are a blood relative.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's pressed on it, he like reframes it. But y'all, listen to this. Tell me if any of you could keep up, like understand the dynamics of this family tree. If you can, I will Venmo you. If you can accurately sketch out this family tree in one listening, I will Venmo you my social security number. In chocolate coins.
Okay, that's my 4 times great-grandfather. He married my 4 times great-grandmother, Caroline Wilson Bailey. From that union came my 3 times great-grandfather, George Washington Bailey, the first black public school teacher on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. He married Grandmom Annie. They had Grandmom Caroline, okay? She had Grandma Vivian. Grandma Vivian married a Spanish-speaking Cuban immigrant, Grandpop Cicero. They had Grandmom Ida, who's still alive, who married James Johnson, who had my father Jamal, who married my mama Barbara, and from that union I was born.
How do you even remember all those names? I don't know that many generations back. Guacamole. How many times did he have to practice that before? And his like jovial, like crazy smile as he's
Just telling you, yes. Huge smile.
so proud to like say these things.
Almost adorable.
I mean, honestly, it is cute.
Yeah.
Wait, who is this person? Is that the same?
Same dude, yeah. Same brother. Same
I'm
brother.
seeing him from an angle.
So that is allegedly how he's related to Frederick Douglass, world-renowned black athlete. Frederick Douglass. Now, to those of you who just accepted what I just said as a black athlete, Frederick Douglass, you guys failed. You just failed your civil rights test, and you just put our friendship in serious jeopardy.
What do I say that pisses people off so bad?
So let me read you Frederick Douglass's family's response.
Okay.
The family of Frederick Douglass has received numerous inquiries about Dr. Umar Johnson questioning his relationship to Frederick Douglass. So the letters have been asking them, hey, is he related? There have also been questions about the legitimacy of his PhD and the handling of the donations he's received for a school he is promoting. We can tell you with 100% certainty that he is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass. With that being said, Mr. Johnson is very careful not to bill himself as descendant, but he doesn't correct people when they refer to him in this way. They threw out some strays in that reply. They brought in the school for some reason while answering a question about his lineage, which is kind of funny. So clearly they don't like him. But on the school, so they mentioned he's been over the years raising money for something called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, much to the chagrin of the Frederick Douglass family. Chagrin is like when you're, okay. And over the years, like there was, like
I love how you're turning to me to tell me that.
There was questions on
just because I'm white.
100%. I have an expectation that you finish school with a little bit higher marks than me. Safe assumption. So he made a school, or over the years he'd been raising money for a school. This is over the course of several years, y'all. And throughout the years, there's been questions on like, where's the money going? Hey, when's the school coming? He did an Instagram live where like he's walking in what he said was like the place that the school's going to be. I don't think it was. I think it was just like a random junior high or something with all the lights on. But I think actually the school, I want to say the school may actually be opening. I saw a picture of it on his Instagram.
So like it's legitimate. He's not like taking people's money for funsies.
Here's the deal. He was trying to get AC. Here's something that I thought about actually that is kind of in conjunction with his message, the school, the difficulty raising money. He was asking black people like, hey, y'all spend, he like looked up how much black people spend on grits each year. And he was asking black people like, could I have your grits money this year? Like we can spend all this money on grits, but we can't spend money on black education. Like, can I just get your grits for you? Just really funny. And
so he just keeps picking random weird stats that no one else can like vet easily. Like I don't know who's researching how many grits black people buy.
I would actually wonder that.
But apparently it's a certain specific number that you can share.
So the school needed like AC, which was really expensive, like HVAC and all that stuff.
Oh,
wow. It was very expensive. Mm-hmm. And I guess he finally got the money to get that done, but somebody was, I don't know, listen, I'm just talking. But he was like, if the AC went out, like, would you even have the money to like fix it? So it's almost like some people are questioning what, like, yes, the school is done, but like, can you sustain it? Is it even like a hospital place for children? Because the building is very old. But it makes me wonder, like, are people willing to trust you with the education of their children if these are the types of things you're about? Like, does it go beyond people, like, liking a post or saying something nice about you online? Like, can you actually start something, build something sustainable based on, I would say, at least like a poisoned worldview? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of, it's interesting because of how long it took this school to come up. Like that just made me wonder, like me as if I had a kid, like forget like the curriculum, just based on you. I don't want to send my kid there. I don't want him to end up like you. And then some of the criteria he has here.
Well, I don't know if your kid would be invited, honestly.
Well, here's what's funny, y'all.
Would they be a mixed child? Would they be allowed?
That's a valid question. Here's what's funny.
Actually, does he allow white children?
What he doesn't allow, and this is not a joke, y'all, what he does not allow is any potential teachers to be married to someone not black. So to teach there, you have to be black married. Which is crazy.
You have to be a black teacher and you have to be
Correct.
Black married?
To be black married and be a black teacher.
Or black and single forever.
Yeah, or that, yeah. Yes. you have to be willing to marry a black person if you are single, and if you are married, if you aren't, I gotta read the exact verbiage because it's hilarious. Where is it? Yeah, okay. So it says, so I'm reading the website for the school for people who would come, and y'all, for some reason, like, I don't know why this website the info was all written in the passive voice. It's really weird.
Oh. So
this says, does the FDMG Academy have teachers? So Frederick Douglas Marcus Garvey Academy. This says, particularly, Dr. Umar has encouraged black women to send their resumes, but with one catch. If accepted, the school would require them to maintain their natural hair, and if dating or marrying, it'd be in the African communities. The reason, according to Dr. Umar, the school will encourage young men to uphold the values of a black African family, which he considers to comprise of a man and woman. Okay, you said they comprise a black African family is comprised of a man and a woman. So then why can't they marry a not black? I don't know. I don't get it, bro. But that at least implies that you are teaching the children to marry black. So I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, and you're also teaching a woman. You're taking her hair choice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What if she wants to straighten it or I don't know. I guess,
you're right. Yeah.
I guess if she's bald, that probably still falls in line.
Because you assume that they're bald because they're.
No, I was going to say, what if they don't have hair?
Because they're African, so you just assume that African women are bald.
No, I don't.
Yeah, get your stereotypes and take them
oh my
out
gosh,
somewhere else.
I honestly didn't even think of that. I was just thinking if if he wants it to be a natural.
So this is dated. This is when will the FDMG RBG Academy open? It remains uncertain when the Frederick Douglas Garvey School International Leadership Academy will be open for admissions. However, Dr. Umar has been updating loyal supporters who donate to this campaign with the most recent development, showing the progress being made on the GAIM. Just this passive voice kills me, y'all. In no way want to see someone who has an obviously set dream. Like, that's sad. Like, if he's been working on this forever and you want to know something?
But yeah,
go ahead. We'll continue.
But his dream is toxic.
It is. It is a toxic dream.
And his subjecting people to this intense viewpoint and wanting to train up children. I do want to see this dream be crushed. I know. Because it's not good.
It's not. I would not like these plans to prevail.
It's a dark little Nemo dream.
I would love God to grab a hold of you, Jesus to grab a hold of you, and you take all this energy and put it towards a very holy, yes, 100%. Burn the devil out of you and redeem your efforts towards a holy expression of what it means to empower black people in America.
100.
But here's something. Here's something
he's dead.
Here's something I wouldn't want my kid learning. So it actually has the classes that you would be taking. He's got. So it says, what curriculum will be taught at the Frederick Douglas Marcus Garvey Academy? When announcing plans for the new school on a YouTube video below. This video is no longer available. This is not, this is the video here right below it is not available.
Oh, okay.
Must have got a copyright strike. Dr. Umar Johnson outlined the main sciences behind the school, or his school will teach. So it has economic and financial science, dietary and nutritional science, the science of community and family. I mean, do you have to call everything a science? I mean, it could just be the philosophy of community and family. Oh, this is an all-boys school.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. I think he said he's opening it up to girls now, but here's the one that this is sus.
So he wants it to be an all-boys school, but then he really wants black women? He doesn't really want to encourage black men to help bring up black men?
I don't know. I mean, I hear you. I'm saying your point. That's a great question.
I want more male teachers just as a person. I think that it would be nice to have more.
If you want these boys to
male influence, in the education.
I mean, some dudes in their education would help, along with women.
Yes, exactly. I'm not saying only, but
so this is this class here is wild. Spiritual science. This science aims to teach young black students the astronomical and cosmological spiritual systems of their African ancestors and people. So basically, you want to unleash
the devil
a coven
into people's
voodoo
lives.
practitioners into society at all levels of government. You want people sacrificing to, hang on, let me, list of African deities. You want people sacrificing to Ulurun before they give the inaugural address when one of them eventually becomes president. One nation under Zulu.
Okay, so yeah,
I like this is the school is
yeah.
just on a purely educational
Michael
level.
Jordan got to stop doing this because someone's going to get killed.
Just on a purely educational level. I guess I wouldn't want my child here. So I guess I could keep going on the school. There's a lot of content, but I know we're doing well on time. You know what? Let me read some of the. You know what? So there's a question here. I got one more for y'all. Okay. So what makes the Frederick Douglas Marcus Garvey International Leadership Academy unique? As a black parent to a young black boy, you may be wondering how unique the school could be. Now, the following points/promises were made by Dr. Umar when officially announcing the school on his YouTube video. 0 suspensions. As a school built to empower the black children, the school will never suspend or expel any student.
Oh, wow.
No racist slurs or names when referring to students.
So no calling anyone coon.
Yeah, if only the principal would have followed the same ethics.
I even felt uncomfortable saying
that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm glad you said that. Because if principal's not even following the rules.
I mean, like.
Also, do we live in the 1960s? Are teachers still yelling the N-word from the top of the class? Wow. Hey, Blackie. Pay attention. I'm teaching about your people, Martin Luther King. I would think of all the students in here, you're the only black one. You'd want to listen. Wow. Like, does that still happen in America? I don't think so. And isn't posted on TikTok and the teacher literally swallowed a hole?
That's what I was.
You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say though. Is we live in an era where children know how to use the internet.
Yeah, you're not gonna get away with it, bro.
No, I'm saying they're gonna see him saying some like saucy stuff,
right?
And they're gonna disrespect their principal or founder or whatever role he plays.
You know
in
what?
This
is
school.
Interesting, Lord. Could you imagine a black student at this school just somehow like seeing like a white baddie and like Umar being like, hey, come here, boy. Don't you dare look at another white girl like that again. I mean, that's if you want to talk about like
scary.
1960s Emmett Till vibes.
I know.
That
I mean, you would
double
have
sneaky, huh?
Yeah, literally. You would have more license to be afraid of your person, like your children marrying in like interracial marriage back in the 60s and things like that.
Oh, 100%.
You would want an easier life for your child.
Yeah, like a warning for them. Like hey, you might get killed for this. Yeah, for sure.
Black families, I'm sure, were like, please don't.
Yeah.
And I obviously white families were as well. So
or the 50s or whenever it was popping off.
But even still.
But I'm saying like now.
Yeah.
Like imagine that scenario. Like I guess to be consistent, he would have to say that, right?
I mean, he would. Yeah.
That's just like weird.
Don't you see how the teachers are married? Don't. This is the way. Just keep seeing him pass in the hall, watching everyone saying, "This is the way," with his little hat on.
So, all that to say, y'all. Let me just read some. Let me close with a little scripture here.
There we go.
I just think his entire worldview that he promotes to black people, which many black people just gobble up, it's just it's poison. It's very similar to like Andrew Tate, where like you are speaking to legitimate.
I don't know who Andrew Tate is.
He's like a guy that speaks to like men, and he says a lot of very toxic stuff, but it's interwoven with like I care for you, which a lot of men need. And have been denied, like somebody who is concerned about their well-being. Right. But
Isn't this month the men's mental health awareness?
It
month?
might be. But it's like this poison that he's giving you. Like, yeah, he brings up valid. He will oftentimes talk about things that are just realities in America in light of our history or whatever. But when it's packaged with something so corrosive, it renders him unable to. It spreads into everything, and you cannot, from a pure heart, be about the advancement of your people with when there's hatred that is very present with in the things you say. You can't just like contain that to just interracial marriages. It's going to show up, and I feel like it has. And it's weird to me, and I don't fully understand why it's so attractive to black people, other than like the delivery. Like, yeah, he's a character very much, and I appreciate the liveliness. And there are times where he is, well, most of the times, he is very amicable in conversations, respectful, all that. There's a delivery, almost like Barack Obama. There's a delivery that makes him palatable, but it's like, how long will black people? And again, obviously we're not monolithic, but I guess I'll put it like this: how long will the people who consume his content put up with evil? Probably until Jesus redeems their broken minds, and I don't say that with a smile on my face. But let me just read scripture, and then we'll be done. This is the latter half of, I think, Colossians 3. It says, "Do not lie to one another, since you stripped off the old self with its evil practices, and have put on the new self, which is being renewed to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. A renewal in which there is no distinction between Greek and Jew, circumcised and uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave, and free. But Christ is all and in all." And what that does not mean is that our cultures, our backgrounds, even the way we look, the slantedness of our eyes, the amount of eyelids we have, the color of our skin, the whiteness or curliness of our hair, these are all relevant and all beautiful. But it does mean that in spite of all of these artificial differences and ways that we find to distinguish and divide ourselves based on family of origin, these are irrelevant, because Christ, that warding bond I brought up in the beginning, truly links us all in a way that transcends our superficial features. They are important. God made us with intention, but that cannot overshadow the unity that we have in Christ, as this verse very beautifully points out. So that's it. That's all I got for y'all. Lauren, do you feel empowered? By the way, did I already say this?
Do you like skin?
I'm speechless. That is, it's gonna be hard for you to top a more perfect soundboard button than that. Yo, do you like skin? Hello. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, I didn't realize this, y'all. This is weird. Maybe God, I don't know. I did not realize that. So at the time of this recording, yesterday was Loving Day, which is the holiday that celebrates when interracial marriage became like legal. I did not plan this at all. It's kind of weird, actually. But as I was doing research today, I was like, wait a second. Wasn't yesterday? Anyways, because a friend posted about it. So, hello.
Happy belated Loving Day.
Happy Loving Day. So, if you are not married interracially, maybe reconsider like the situation you're in. I'll play it.
Whoever God brought to you, or whoever you fell in love with.
For sure.
Cool.
And just to be clear, like, obviously, we don't know this man. Neither of us have any hatred in our hearts for him. But I just hope, man, I genuinely hope that
the school doesn't take off the ground.
I hope the school doesn't take off the ground, and I hope that there's somebody in his life who like can speak truth to him, because I feel like he has a lot to offer.
I mean, clearly, yeah, he's gone successfully on things that don't make sense. I can only imagine
if he said things that
if
did
he-
make sense.
if he-
100%.
If he had real stats,
100 a p.
not based on grits and per capita.
Do not. Oh my god. Yeah.
All these fungible stats that he keeps. Yo, black women, they rule the world.
Yo, thank you guys. You guys are a blessing to my soul. Hopefully I gave you something to chew on. If I didn't, man, get the free guest second place. Stick around. We'll try you again. Stick around. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.